Okay, this video is to help students who are going to be sitting the Grade 3 Trinity Rock and Pop Grade 3 drum kit improvisation side of the test, one of the session skills, if you choose that one. And I'm basically doing this video to help with students tend to have a bit of a difficulty with shuffle grooves that are in 3/4 time signature. So the main thing when you're talking about 3/4 time signature is it does feel a little bit odd when you first come across it, but particularly when you're playing in a shuffle feel. So the feel of a shuffle means that the ride cymbal or the hi-hat, whichever you're playing on the top, will have this broken triplet feel like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, as if you were playing 1 and 2 and but missing out the and in the middle. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so it's that all the way through on the top. And underneath your bass drums are going to be lined up with parts of those broken triplets. So I'm going to demonstrate the 6 grooves that would get you certainly through the test. Any of these, you can mix them up. I'm going to do it at a fairly slow tempo for demonstration purposes. So 70 beats per minute. In fact, I'm going to do it 65 beats per minute. It's quite slow, just so that you can grasp the concept. And obviously you can build it up in speed as and when you feel. They're not particularly fast anyway, the exercise, the tests that they ask you. I think the fastest is around about 80 beats per minute. But for demonstration purposes, we'll play it at 65. So example 1 is the most basic, and that's just having in 3/4 you have a downbeat, or the bass drum is always strong on the first beat of the bar, and the backbeat, whereas in 4/4 it will be on 2 and 4, in 3/4 it's just on beat 3. So sometimes you can play on beat 2 and 3, as you'll notice in the second one. But eventually you want to be able to just mix and match these grooves. They all sort of work as a time feel in 3/4 shuffle. So exercise number 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that's the basic feel of the first one. If you feel up to it and you feel that you can manage it, it's quite common to put the hi-hat with your foot on beat 2 and 4. On beat 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And it just adds an extra layer, and it sort of helps keep your feet in 3/4 time as well. Doesn't have to be put in, but if you can manage it comfortably, then it's an addition that you can stick in. Okay, exercise 2, the only difference is we're putting an extra snare drum in. So if you happen to go into it and play a snare drum on beat 2, just remember to play it again on beat 3, yeah? So you don't drift into 4/4 time signature, which is quite common. So this is exercise number 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If you want to put the hi-hats in, it works quite comfortably with this because it's your left hand and left foot together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay, number 3 just adds an extra little bass drum as an embellishment to the downbeat on 1. So when you do the extra bass drum at the end on the at of 3, focus more on the 1, so you don't play too much emphasis on the first bass drum, but yet the one that comes in on beat 1 is the more important one. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 with hi-hats. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Yeah, so number 4 just has an extra bass drum on the at of beat 2 of the second triplet, leading up to the backbeat on 3. Numbers 1, 2, and 3 are probably the most widely used. They're the most common ones to use. But any of the others, 4, 5, and 6, can be thrown in as a little variation here and there. And there are many other possibilities. This is just to get you started, basically. So 1, number 4, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hi-hats in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Obviously, the more involved the bass drum and snare drum are in the grooves, the harder it is to put the hi-hats in. So you might need to drop out on some of these, especially 4, 5, and 6 possibly. Number 5 just has a little sort of a fill on the beat. It's basically like number 4, but on beat 3. This time we're going to go 3 and a. Snare, snare, bass. So it'll go 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and a. And I've written, there's no ride cymbal written above the last bass drum of the bar, but it works with it and without it. So I'll do a bit with one with and one without. So here we go, number 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, and with 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1. Yep. And finally, number 6. This one's probably the one that you'd use just fairly sparingly. Just got a couple of extra bass drums on the 2 leading up to the backbeat. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I would leave the hi-hats out on that one. It's a little bit tricky. I'd have to think about it, actually. Yeah, it's a little more to think about on that one.